Founded in 1730, Lancaster has grown from a small English colonial town to one of the largest in Pennsylvania. It has a rich and varied architectural history with log cabins and Romanesque churches just blocks from one another. The first high architectural style of Lancaster is Georgian style. Georgian buildings were already being constructed in other places prior to the city being founded in 1730. The style is most recognizable for its symmetrical, steep roof, classic door surrounds, and a box-like shape. Built between 1795 and 1797, the Old City Hall in Penn Square is a beautiful example of Georgian architecture, having 12/12 windows and a triangle pediment over the main entrance. The building housed the Commonwealth offices from 1799 to 1812, was used as a Masonic lodge, a post office, and library in its long history. In Lancaster, the style falls in popularity starting around 1790, although few examples like the City Hall exist outside that time. Right after the Georgian style lost its popularity, a new but similar federal style took its place between 1780 and 1790. Common are hipped roofs with a low pitch, 6/6 windows, and the ornamentation is noticeably more plain than Georgian. The William Montgomery House, built in 1804 on South Queen Street, is a great example, also having a small 3-window facade and a fanlight over a door, which is very common in federal-style buildings. The house was built by the local attorney after which it was named, and is the only documented local work by architect Stephen Hills. It was used as a Montgomery family house for multiple generations, then converted to a YWCA, a hardware store, and a barber shop. The style was popular until 1820, but some were still built in Lancaster until 1835. After 1840, there was a large-scale Greek revival happening all over. The Lancaster County Courthouse has a large pediment and columns continuing around the sides of the building as well. It also has a low-pitched roof. The courthouse was built by Philadelphia architect Samuel Sloan. Multiple wings were added in the late 1890s, and the staircase was finished in 1927. Although Greek Revival was not very popular in Lancaster, the courthouse is a grand example of use in a civic building. The Italianate style started in the 1840s and was used in Lancaster starting around 1850. Its main characteristics are a square body, low-pitched roofs, and sometimes a square tower in the center. They have an eave with decorative molding and decorative bracketed cornices. Many homes built in this style also have their projecting porch and windows that are usually doubled. The Fulton Theater is a great example of this style. It was built in 1852 and is often called the oldest working theater in the United States. The theater was named after Robert Fulton, who is depicted in a statue in the rest of the facade. The building has very large decorative brackets, ornate moldings, a hipped roof, and windows that are tall and thin. These are some of the most prominent characteristics of Italianate buildings. In the 1870s, about 20 years after the Fulton was built, the style started to die and Victorian became more popular. Romanesque dates from 1840 to 1900, but it first appeared in Lancaster in 1860. It was typically not used for houses, but was more commonly used for public buildings. Romanesque style typically features brick or stone in dark colors, arched windows, and doorways. Romanesque style typically features brick or stone in dark colors, arched windows and doorways, exterior vaulting supports, and external towers. The most recognizable Romanesque building in Lancaster County is Central Market. The current building was built in 1889 and features a hipped and gabled roof, Tuscan-colored bricks, and twin towers with a gable between. The Second Empire style is similar to Italianate and became popular around the same time as Romanesque in 1860. They also feature patterned shingles, deep eaves with decorative brackets, 2/2 or 1/1 windows that have elaborate hoods or pediments. The Wolf Museum is located on West Chestnut Street in Lancaster. The stately three-story Second Empire structure was built during the period of 1888 to 1890, and Dr. Wolf first occupied the property in 1913. Queen Anne soon became more popular than Italianate style during the 1870s, but quickly faded out during the 1910s. Queen Anne symbolized the Gilded Age and symbolized wealth and prosperity during the 19th century. It is most commonly recognized by its whimsical features such as decorative chimneys, gabled rooflines, numerous balconies, and the use of different colors and textures. The Steinman hardware store was built in 1886 and was built in the Queen Anne style and features a brick and stone balustrade, stained windows, and a mix of cut stone and metal on the storefront. Beaux Arts style is based on classical and Roman models. This style was considered to be very beautiful and harmonious. It was based on mathematical models to represent a perfect balance that is found in nature. Beaux Arts features an emphasis on ornamentation and classical architectural features. The cornice is usually exaggerated and includes dentils and coins. Beaux Arts first appeared in Lancaster in the 1880s and lasted until the 1930s. The Riley Brothers and Robb building, built between 1910 and 1911, is built in the Beaux Arts style. It is built in brick, pink granite, Indiana limestone, and has a decorative copper cornice. Art Deco incorporates streamlining, cubism, curved forms, and smooth polished surfaces. Art Deco became popular in Lancaster County in the early 1920s, but died out at the end of World War II. It was typically used as a decorative style, with facades being added to older buildings instead of new buildings being built. J.P. McCaskey High School is one of the few Art Deco buildings that was built in Lancaster County. It was built